Welcome to Dynasty. Here's the question. What impact does China's history have on our world? Last time we were together, we focused on this big question. What impact did the Qin Dynasty have on China? So please turn to page 6. Please find your Qin Dynasty box so that we can add. And of course, Emperor Qin, or Shi Huangdi, was his given name. Remember, it meant the first Qin emperor. And some important facts. We know that Emperor Qin used force to unify China after the Zhou Dynasty. Remember, the end of the Zhou Dynasty was called the period of the warring states. And so the good thing that Emperor Qin did was he did unify China once again through a central unified government. Unfortunately, the way in which he did it was not favored by the people. Remember, he is credited with the start of the Great Wall of China. He was trying to keep out the nomads from the north. He has his own currency that he created, his own writing system, and the terracotta warriors, which was his tomb that he built in order to protect him in his afterlife. So now let's look at the big question. What impact did the Han Dynasty have on China? Take a look at the map. Here you can see in comparison modern day China. And then we're also looking at the purple, which is the Qin Dynasty. And now look at the Han Dynasty. Look how much it expanded. You're going to see it expand over here into the west. And that's going to be the start of the Silk Road, which will be an important accomplishment of the Han Dynasty. Here you can see it expanding into what we know as North Korea. And then even down into here. This is a great map because you can see our river systems. Here's the Yangtze or Changyang River, and here is the Yellow River, also known as the Huanghe River. And now look at the growth of the Han Dynasty. That's the tan color in comparison to the other dynasties we've been learning. So they're really starting to grow not only in population, but in power and strength because of the trade. And now when we're opening up these trade routes to the west, we're really increasing the trade of the dynasty. Let's look at a quick timeline of the Han Dynasty. So in 206 BC, the Qin Dynasty collapses. The Han Dynasty came to power. A man named Liu Bang is going to be a farmer who turns into a soldier, who will then be the first emperor of the Han Dynasty in 202 BC. Look at this fun fact. The Han Dynasty was founded by Liu Bang, a farmer turned soldier. His family began the powerful Han Dynasty that would rule China for more than 400 years. Here's Emperor Wudi. He's one of the important rulers to note. Remember, not any one person can rule a dynasty for over 400 years. So Liu Bang was the first emperor of the Han Dynasty, and Han Wudi was an important ruler of the Han Dynasty. Let's read his fun fact. Emperor Wudi of the Han Dynasty, also known as Han Wudi, ruled from 141 to 87 BC. Han Wudi took important steps to improve China's government. And notice with the time frame when Han Wudi was in power that we're getting closer to present day. Please make a vocab card if you haven't done so for the word golden age. A golden age is a time period of wealth or great achievement. The Han Dynasty is going to enter China into its first golden age. There are going to be many accomplishments, and they're going to achieve great wealth through trade. And so that's why we have to understand this term, the Golden Age, because the Han Dynasty will be a golden age in China's history. Here is your table of contents. You can see that we are all using the same active listening sheet to learn about the Han Dynasty. That's why it's blended green and red. So page 14 in your binder will be the Han active listening sheet, page 14. Go ahead and add it to your binder. Make sure you put it behind page 13 and make sure you number it. And then on page 14, please write our guiding question at the top. How did the Han Dynasty impact the history of China? Remember, you're specifically listening for how did the dynasty come to be? How did it form? You're really going to be listening for these accomplishments. Remember, the Han Dynasty is China's first golden age, and that means wealth and great achievement. So there are going to be many significant accomplishments during this time. And you also, of course, want to listen for the fall of the Han Dynasty. Here is your track split screen. So maybe now is a great time for you to take a screenshot so that you have this that you can reference back to. If you're G-Track, you know that we work the list in order from top to bottom. There are also some text pages that go along, and you're going to record any important facts from those text pages on your active listening sheet, page 14. There is an Emperor Woody trading card you need to complete, and don't forget that your text-based response is due to me on Schoology by the start of class on October 21st. So you have to make sure that before you walk into my class on October 21st, you have it submitted as a PDF on Schoology. And then T-Track, you're going to go and watch the videos 1 and 2 on the Han Dynasty. Take active listening notes on page 14. You also will be working with me to read a small text page to learn about the Han Dynasty. And then don't forget, you need to complete your 3 letters of your alphabet graphic organizer and your independent assignment. I went over this in the last video, but I'm going to put it back up again. So if you completed your Qin Dynasty graphic organizer, you should have notes from the text that answer the guiding question on the left and then explain how the text answers the question on the right. You should have a detailed graphic organizer already completed. And I went in great detail over this on my last video in the Qin Dynasty folder. So if you need more of a detailed explanation rather than just me putting this up, please go ahead and look at the Qin Dynasty folder and watch the lesson video taught by Ms. Fecho part 2. And that will help you better understand why I have these items written here. But otherwise, it's a great place for you to check just to make sure you're on target. And don't forget, you're going to use these exact quotes and your explanations in your paragraphing when you type it and submit it to me on Schoology. Now please find your Emperor Woody trading card and let's go over the answers together. Emperor Woody wanted to create a stronger central government. He placed the grain and rice, which is the major trade for them, under the control of the government, which is of course a major export of the dynasty, and that's so he could control the money coming in and out, which is what helped form that strong central government. Confucianism became the official government philosophy under Han Woody. We will learn about Confucianism very soon. It was brought to us by a man named Confucius, and he truly believed that Confucius' ideals are the ways in which people should behave in life. It's called ethics, proper behavior. And we'll learn all about Confucianism. But Han Woody brought this in. In fact, he even created a university to teach these Confucian ideas. That's how much he believed it would help his people of the Han Dynasty. And he did. He helped them reach a golden age, a time of wealth and great achievement. From your videos, please draw a line of learning. So you probably have great things above this line. Anything that you don't have above this line, please add below the line. It's called a line of learning. So if you didn't have this, please add that during the Han Dynasty, they brought peace to the people, and they specifically brought in the religion called Buddhism to help bring that peace. Emperor Wu, or Emperor Woody, created a very strong government, and he started a university to teach those ideas. He really helped develop, and the Han Dynasty really helped develop the Silk Road for trading with the West, specifically Europe. And so this was huge as far as gaining more money and gaining more power, because when you increase your trade, you're increasing the wealth of your dynasty, which means you're increasing your power. And when you're opening up your trade routes and expanding those, that's all the more people you can trade among. And so this was really vital to helping the Han Dynasty reach its golden age, which then, of course, it helped to expand the territory by establishing those treaties to the west, conquering lands to the south, and therefore expanding the territory of which they governed. So back to our timeline, Han Emperor Wu or Han Wudi ruled from 141 BC to 87 BC. Then we zero out at BC 1 AD. So the Han Dynasty is going to cross over the BC and enter the AD time. So when we look at the timeline, we know that BC counts down to 0, and that's the time, remember, dating before Christ, and then Anno Domini time is going to start when the Han Dynasty falls. So the Han Dynasty lasts another 220 years into AD time before the dynasty falls. And then let's go ahead and add these important facts. We need Liu Bang. He was the first emperor, and Emperor Wudi, of course, since he really helped the Han Dynasty enter that golden age. And then some important facts to sum up. We know that they developed and strengthened a Silk Road during this time. Paper was invented during the Han Dynasty. Of course, that's going to be a very important invention for many years to come. They brought peace among the people, and they did this through the religion called Buddhism. And we will talk about Buddhism later in the unit. And they expanded the territory. Treaties to the west, conquering lands to the north and south. There you have the Han Dynasty. Hopefully you attended class, but if you happen to miss it, that is a brief overview.